Now, this one is a really short one. Liars, liar, pants on fire. I always say that. Ended up being like at least 20 minutes. No, but I mean, this is something that came out to me. Um, it has to do with the original sin, and which applies, by the way, to all sins. If you think about it, all sins start with a temptation, which is exactly the same thing in general that happens in the Garden of Eden. That's why you hear a lot of people saying that the temptation of Satan. Well, of course, I mean they use a Genesis use a metaphor there. There was the apple, the tree, and all of that. But that applies. That apple, if you think about it, it's basically all you got to do is go through all the commandments, and you'll see what it is. That apples represents the violation, each and every violation of all the commandments. In other words, all sins. That's what the apple represents, if you think about it. Rather than the apple itself, is the action of taking that apple. See, that I mean, I know some people say that has nothing to do with sex, or that has nothing to do with this, or that has nothing to do with that. It does. It has to do with all of those things. But it's true that it's not necessary. It's not just one. It's not just sexual sins or crime or what have you, or only crime or only this or all of them. It's all of them. That action from Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden represents all our sins, basically, because every time we commit a sin, that's exactly what we do. We are trying to be our own gods. We're trying to take something that was meant to be given freely. We try to take by force something that was meant to be given freely by love, you know, in love. Something like life, you know, and all the wonderful things that are out there in nature, all the resources that we use to build stuff, and yes, our own bodies, including the sexual organs. All these things were given by God freely for us to receive also freely. In other words, we say, okay, Lord, yes, I accept your gift. I receive it. I accept it. When when we commit a sin, we're doing the opposite. God makes it available to us. Like when we're born, we have a body. He makes it, and I'm going to use that one as an example because I mean it's the easier one. It's the one. Let's face it, it's the most common sin out there. It has to do. It's the sexual nature. We all done it. Keep doing it. Unfortunately, very frequent. It's the most common sin out there. The sexual sins. Sexual sins. But there are many others. Obviously, this applies to all of them. But how many people commit crimes? I mean, murders, for example. Unfortunately, far too many. One too many, right? But most people don't do that. Most people don't kill other people. Not in this part of the world, anyway. Well, actually, it's more than actually we would like to think, but still, most people are still no, they don't. Um, I mean, I'm talking about going out and murdering someone, you know. But there are many other ways you can kill someone. But I'm talking about the traditional one. Thou shalt not kill applies to many other things. But anyway, let's stick to the one that I'm going to kill that person. Very most people don't do that, right? But all of us, there's not a single person in this world that has not committed a sexual sin. Not a single one. We all do. And then why? The reason is very simple. See, unlike when you go out, and I'm using that as an example as well, by the way, when you go out to kill someone because you feel like, or whatever, because, evil, selfish reasons, you have to go outside of you. See, you have to do, you have, for chances are you have to use a weapon that is outside your body, although sometimes people kill by just I've seen videos, by the way. Just upon, be careful if you hit someone in the face. I mean, you can kill that person. I myself, at least a couple of times in my life, I was very close to killing someone with my fists. By the way, I'm not proud of it at all. I'm just saying it. I have my own experience. Of course, I'm being in the receiving end as well. Not to think that I'm Bruce Lee. I'm not. In fact, most people out there would beat the crap out of me. So I'm not. Thank God, because I don't want to. That's in my past. I don't want to. But every once in a while, the thoughts come to my mind. That's one of the things. But I'm talking about most people can use other weapons. To carry out. So in other words, you have to go outside of you. Whereas the sins of the flesh, you don't have to. You've got it right with you, and you carry it with you always, all the time. Like a gun, you can say, okay, I'm not gonna touch that gun or whatever. But you cannot say the same thing about your body. So that's why it's most common, frequent sin. Bottom line is, where I was going with this, going back to the original sin. Remember what the original sin was. No, thou shalt not eat the fruit of that tree. Notice, and that's the key right there. The key to understand how that actually applies or represents all sins is, number one, what is the definition of sin? Violation of the commandments of the Lord. In other words, I want to do it my way, not your way. Like Frank Sinatra, did it my way. That's what they say. The most popular song in hell, and the favorite song of Satan is "I Did It My Way." Because that's exactly what he wants you to do. Do it your way. Do it your way, and that is a temptation in the Garden of Eden, rather than God's way. No, I don't want. When I die, I don't wanna. I don't wanna go to the other side and tell the Lord I did it my way. I want to say I did it your way. Your way, sir. Your way, my Lord. What I want right now, I want to do it your way, not my way. See? Because if you going back to again the Garden of Eden, what is? Hold on a second. I hope this is still recording. Well, anyway, but now I'll go. I can come back. It's here. Where is if you think about it, look, what is the story? The metaphor, because it didn't happen literally that way, but that represents something else. Who knows what it was? But here's what it represents: the tree of the wisdom of right and wrong. Basically, that tree comes from God. That wisdom is from God. That's a tree where the Lord gets the fruits of wisdom and truth to give freely to us. And we accept it. We receive it. We wait for Him. We wait, first of all, for that fruit to be ripe, and only the Lord can determine that. And then we receive it. We accept it when He give it to us. Here, take it. See, wisdom. Of course, I'm just going scratching the surface of the surface. This, if I were to talk all there is to that, just that passage right there, I would never end. And I got other stuff to do. Nothing personal. And I know that, this is, I got to go whole game back to, 20 minutes. And I don't want to go past, at least not past 20 minutes. But at any rate, that right there, that's what the tree of life. Now, notice that the prohibition was not receiving from that tree at all. It was You do not take it. I am in charge of that tree. You do not touch it. See? Why was, in other words, how does that apply to the commandments? In other words, here's what you do and what you do not do. You know? And that's all there is to it. When Eve took the fruit, by the way, it started with the deception from Satan, the serpent. And that's how it all starts, because Satan is smarter, is more intelligent than any of us. So he knows best. And he knows better than any of us. So he knew exactly what was going to happen. And he knew exactly what is the content of that. And he knew exact of that tree. And he knew exactly why we better do not touch it unless the Lord give it to us. Because again, bottom line is, you do not take it. What is intended to be given for free. So how does that apply to today's word? I just gave you the example of the flesh, but it can be also used for something else that's probably even better. But going back to the flesh, well, that would be like having sex like cats and dogs without the holy sacrament of marriage. And there's only one marriage between a man and a woman, and that's it, nothing else. So, and then also, you know, and in love, in marriage, in love, that's when you take the fruit of the sexual gratification. But the people that have sex like cats and dogs and what have you, they are taking it on their own, by using their own rules, their own will, my way. Same thing applies when you use your brains and your skills to produce something that the Lord, I don't know, contraception pills, nuclear weapons, robots. Oh yeah, I know. I hear people saying, "Oh, I'm creating robots for this and this and that." Be careful. Be careful what you wish for. The Lord did not intend, and He's going to allow it because He made us free. But if history is any guide, you know what happens when we do that. When we do things our own way, using the skills that He gave us, our intelligence to produce things, it has nothing to do with the Lord. That's what we're doing, grabbing from the fruit of knowledge, or the skills that He gave us to do our own thing. And that's when death, destruction, evil, suffering, you name it, comes into this world. Sadness, misery, and eventually death. Exactly the story of Adam and Eve in the garden. It keeps repeating itself with each and every sin, because each and every sin again involves we doing things our way, grabbing it, rather than freely taking it from the Lord the way He intended. So think about it. I mean, that's why it's in our Father, the prayer that the Lord's prayer, right? Let your will be done, not mine. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will, not mine, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. See, the Lord gave it for free. His way, whenever, His way and on His time frame, not ours. Well, you see, we're so stupid and dumb that we keep repeating the same story of Adam and Eve over and over again. Okay, I'm waiting. You don't give it to me, so I'm going to grab it on my own. And guess who's right behind us when we do that? Guess the one who's whispering on our ear, just do it. He knows better. He knows that you keep doing that thing, i.e., that's when we sin. He holds you already. And he's going to grab you Ain't gonna go well with you. Don't expect heaven. When I say he's gonna grab you, you know when he's gonna pull down you down too. Think about it. There's a whole lot more about this, but I'm getting time is up, so I'm not gonna go any more than that. God bless you. Talk to you later.